It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and up until recently you could buy Sierra Nevada's Torpedo Extra IPA in Waitrose. I've not seen it in Waitrose myself personally for a number of years, but it used to be widely available. It was one of those beers that was from America, from Sierra Nevada, the desert in America, and it was one that perhaps, because it was always in the on the shelf in Waitrose, perhaps it was a beer that you maybe took for granted. I certainly took it for granted because I'd always think, I'll buy it next time. One of those beers, I'll buy it next time. I won't buy it today, I'll buy something else, I'll buy it next time. Until it disappears from the shelves and you never see it again in the UK. Of course, you can buy Sierra Nevada Pale Ale quite predominantly in places like Morrison's and Tesco's, and you know, it's a very, very, very big selling iconic American pale ale is Sierra Nevada's pale ale. But the extra IPA, the Torpedo, the 7.2% ABV version, yeah, bit of a sad thing actually that Waitrose stopped selling it. Family owned, operated and argued over. I bet. 12 fluid ounce can. This was sent to me from Stephen in America. So this is a beer that's been produced in Sierra Nevada. He was in Florida on holiday, packed some beers up in his suitcase, brought them home for me. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much to Stephen, who went to Florida. Stephen, if you're watching, the Sierra Nevada the Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA, I had a memory fart and I forgot your name, so my apologies there. I was like, oh, thank you very much to the sender of this beer, and I was like, oh, what? I had a brain fart. Right, let's get, I'm sure you don't mind, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. So I first reviewed this beer many moons ago. I think it was actually sent to me by, this was sent to me by My Brewery Tap, which was an online beer shop from many moons ago. They don't even exist anymore. Look at this beer. Look at the quality of this beer. But this is probably America's, or one of America's. You had Stone Double IPA, Sierra Nevada Torpedo, probably Dogfish Head 90 minutes. These are the kind of original, iconic double IPAs of America. The ones that broke out. I mean, you could buy this back in the day in Waitrose in the UK. They were breakout beers. They were best sellers. And they earned their place as best sellers, and they earned their place as beers that should have been sold around the world too. Until, I suppose, New England IPA come around. The bubble for American kind of West Coast, pardon me, American West Coast IPA. The bubble burst when New England IPA come along, and everybody was drinking this kind of like pineapple, mango, kind of like sorbet things, soft, no bitterness, not much bitterness. And the classic double IPA started to kind of fall on its sword a little bit. But we've had so many years now of New England IPA that now New England IPA is starting to fall on its sword a little bit. In fact, I don't generally buy them anymore. I don't generally feel I'm a bit bored with New England IPA. And I was at a beer festival recently in York with Brew York, and everybody at that festival who was in the know, brewers, American brewers, they were all saying, yes, West Coast IPA is making a resounding comeback. So I'm glad. So this has got a 2-finger white head. You've seen the pour, it looks absolutely fantastic. Good levels of carbonation in the glass. It's a slightly hazy amber coloured beer. I will never ever take this beer for granted ever again. If I see it in a shop in the future, I'll definitely look to buy it. and always keep it stocked in my fridge. Aroma. Yes, it's good. Piney, tropical, grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. Yeah. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Look at that head retention. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows is absolutely fantastic. It starts off with this, realising it now, the Americans have been very clever. The Americans took the Belgian way of thinking, the Belgian way of brewing, that candied sugar, that sweetness. They took that when they produced this 7.2% ABV or any other double IPA. They're always sweet. They start off sweet, American double IPAs. But that's a very clever way of doing things. They kind of like borrowed the Belgian way of brewing beer, where it's a strong beer but it starts off sweet. And then whereas Belgian beer is not so bitter, the Americans went off the scale, and the Americans started producing these like 80, 90, 100 IBU double IPAs, which I love. I absolutely love. And this is great brewing. It's great brewing because it's very well thought out brewing. Start off with a whack of sweetness and then finish off with a load of bitterness. It's like sweet and sour, isn't it? Sweet and sour chicken. Shouldn't work, but it does. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, zesty, zingy, sweet, tropical, piney, pine needles. Oh my goodness me. When was the last time I ever mentioned pine needles? It's been such a long time. Yeah, there's pine needles coming through. It's like walking through a pine forest and rubbing some pine leaves together and sucking them up through your nose. Not literally, but the smell of the pine, you know? Fresh pine. Beautiful beer. Beautiful beer. Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA. You may be able to still buy this beer in Waitrose. It's just one of those things. It just kind of like, for whatever reason, fell off my radar. It shouldn't have done. There's no description whatsoever on the can. Just Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, USA. No, 12 fluid ounce, 7.2% ABV, and then there's a government warning on the side of the can. Last time I reviewed this was in a bottle. It's now all in a can. But I still love this beer. Fresh as can be, that. Real fresh beer. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.